Welcome to this in-depth analysis of the R. Kelly trials, where we dive into the complexities surrounding the testimonies of key accusers. Today, we'll focus on the inconsistencies and irregularities in the statements made by witnesses like Lisa Van Allen and Azriel Clary, whose shifting narratives raise serious questions about general witness credibility. This video isn't about denying victims' experiences, but about critically examining the evidence presented in court and the media. Let's get started. In any legal proceeding, especially one as high-profile as R. Kelly's, the credibility of witnesses is paramount. Witnesses are expected to provide consistent and truthful accounts that can withstand scrutiny. When their stories change dramatically between media interviews, pre-trial statements and courtroom testimony, it undermines the integrity of the case. In R. Kelly's trials, several accusers presented testimonies that appeared coached or altered after prosecutorial briefings, casting doubt on their reliability. These inconsistencies weren't minor. They involved critical details about ages, events and motivations. Let's explore two key witnesses, Lisa Van Allen and Azriel Clary, whose statements shifted in ways that challenged their trustworthiness. Lisa Van Allen was a central figure in R. Kelly's 2008 Chicago trial and reappeared in his 2022 federal trial. Her testimony was emotional, detailing alleged sexual encounters with Kelly and an underage girl referred to as Jane. However, her credibility was repeatedly called into question due to discrepancies in her statements. One significant issue was her claim about her age when she first met Kelly. Van Allen initially stated she was 17 when she met him on the set of his Home Alone music video in 1998. This detail was crucial as it suggested Kelly pursued her while she was a minor. However, court records and cross-examination revealed she was actually 18 at the time, a fact that undermines the narrative of underage exploitation in her case. This wasn't a simple mistake, it was a pivotal detail that shaped the prosecution's portrayal of Kelly as a predator. Beyond her age, Van Allen's testimony contained other contradictions. In the 2008 trial, she claimed she had never seen a tape featuring only Kelly and Jane, yet in the 2019 Surviving R. Kelly docuseries and the 2022 trial, she reversed this, stating she had seen such a tape. Defense attorney Beau Brindley highlighted this inconsistency, reading her 2008 transcript aloud in court to show the contradiction. Van Allen's explanation for the discrepancy was rather vague, further eroding her reliability. The defense also pointed out that Van Allen received an immunity deal from the U.S. Attorney's Office before testifying, suggesting her testimony may have been influenced by legal protections rather than truth. Another troubling aspect was Van Allen's alleged attempt to extort Kelly. She admitted to taking a sex tape from Kelly's duffel bag and sending it to her friend Keith Morrill in Kansas City. Later, she and Morrill allegedly negotiated with Kelly's team for its return, with Van Allen claiming Kelly offered $250,000. The defense argued this was an extortion scheme, and Van Allen's fiancée, Yul Brown, was linked to similar financial demands and blackmail. Her ex-boyfriend Damon Pryor mentioned that Van Allen had concocted a plan to profit from a fabricated tape, further damaging her credibility. Pryor's deposition suggested Van Allen discussed a scheme involving two men from Kansas City, Chuck and Keith, to extort Kelly, though she denied this. These financial motives and conflicting stories painted Van Allen as an unreliable witness whose testimony may have been driven by personal gain rather than justice. Van Allen's emotional displays on the stand, while compelling, were also scrutinized. Defense attorneys argued she used tears strategically to sway the jury, noting that her sobbing often coincided with tough cross-examination questions. For example, in 2022, when pressed by attorney Jennifer Bonjean about her role in alleged threesomes with Jane, Van Allen broke down, saying she wasn't proud of her actions. While this could reflect genuine remorse, the timing suggested it might have been a tactic to deflect scrutiny. Combined with her immunity deal, extortion allegations and inconsistent statements, Van Allen's testimony raises significant doubts about her credibility as a government witness. Azriel Clary, another key witness, underwent a dramatic transformation in her public and legal statements about R. Kelly. In 2019, she appeared on CBS with Gayle King, fiercely defending R. Kelly as his girlfriend, and denying any abuse. She claimed to be in a consensual relationship and even accused her parents of trying to exploit her connection with Kelly for money. This interview was explosive, showing Clarys as a staunch supporter of Kelly, willing to confront media scrutiny to protect him. However, by 2021, Clarys' story had completely changed. Testifying under the pseudonym Jane in Kelly's New York trial, she accused him of sexually abusing her starting at age 17, imposing strict rules and physically assaulting her. This 180-degree shift from defender to accuser is one of the most glaring irregularities in the case. What prompted this change? Clarys alleged in her 2021 CBS interview with Gayle King that Kelly had coached her and another woman, Joycelyn Savage, on what to say in the 2019 interview. She claimed Kelly instructed them to be angry and provided specific answers to deflect questions about abuse. While this suggests manipulation, it also raises questions about Clarys' reliability as a witness. If she was willing to lie convincingly on national television in 2019, what guarantees her truthfulness in 2021? Her admission that everything she said in 2019 was untrue undermines her credibility, as it shows a willingness to tailor her narrative to fit the context. Another factor in Clarys' shift was her exposure to Kelly's leaked phone calls, which allegedly revealed incriminating details. Prosecutors likely used these recordings to persuade Clarys to cooperate, positioning her as a star witness. There is also evidence to show that she was threatened by prosecutors that her parents would be implicated if she did not cooperate and change the narrative. However, her decision to testify came after she had publicly accused her parents of coercion and financial motives, a confession that carries more weight than any other claims that came after. In 2019, Clarys claimed her parents pressured her to lie about Kelly to secure a payoff, yet in 2021 she redirected her accusations solely at Kelly, omitting her earlier claims against her family. This selective storytelling suggests her testimony may have been shaped by prosecutorial guidance, focusing on Kelly to align with the government's narrative. Clarys' courtroom testimony was graphic and emotional, detailing alleged beatings, confinement and sexual abuse. Yet her history of conflicting statements made it difficult to accept her account at face value. For example, she claimed Kelly beat her with a sneaker for texting a friend, but provided no corroborating evidence like medical records or contemporaneous reports. Her descriptions of Kelly's rules, such as requiring permission to leave rooms or banning contact with other men, were compelling but lacked independent verification or proof. The defense argued that Clarys' shift from defender to accuser was motivated by pressure from prosecutors and a desire to distance herself from her earlier public support for Kelly. Her testimony, while powerful, was tainted by her admitted history of lying and the absence of concrete evidence to support her claims. Both Clarys and several other testimonies appeared to change after interactions with prosecutors, raising concerns about possible coaching. In high-profile cases, prosecutors often prepare witnesses to ensure their testimony aligns with the legal strategy. While this is standard practice, it can cross into manipulation when witnesses' stories shift dramatically post-briefing. Van Allen's immunity deal and Clarys' cooperation after hearing leaked phone calls suggest their testimonies were influenced by legal incentives. Van Allen's sudden recollection of a tape she previously denied seeing, and Clarys' reversal from defending Kelly to accusing him align suspiciously with prosecutorial needs. The defense is right to argue that prosecutors in fact cherry-picked witnesses who were willing to adopt their stories to fit the narrative of Kelly as a serial abuser. The absence of corroborating evidence for many of their claims, such as physical abuse or underage encounters, further weakens their credibility. For example, Van Allen's claim that Kelly recorded threesomes with Jane was not supported by recovered tapes matching her description, and Clarys' allegations of confinement lacked documentation like police reports or witness accounts to back them up. These gaps suggest the prosecution relied heavily on emotional testimony rather than hard evidence, exploiting the witness's willingness to conform to the government's case. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.